Hi, in this video we're going to look at how to import a table from a web page into Google Sheets. So we're going to start by bringing this table from Wikipedia, which is looking at the population of different countries around the world. And we're going to initially start with bringing the whole table into Google Sheets. And then we're going to change the formula so that it only brings in these three columns: country, continent, and population. And then we're also going to further adapt the calculation so that it only brings in rows of this table that have a number in this first column. Okay, so this is going to be the final output. You have three columns and 195 rows plus the header, leaving 196. Okay, so we'll be using a calculation in Google Sheets called import HTML. And you can see this has a number of parameters that we need to enter. So the first thing is the URL of the web page. And this needs to be wrapped in quotes. So I'll just put open quote, paste in the URL of the website, close quotes, and then a comma. The second parameter is looking at the query. So the query is just whether or not we're bringing in a list or a table. And it's usually going to be a table that you're going to be bringing in. So again, we just open quotes and type table. Okay, then we get to the index parameter, and this is to specify which table on the page is the one that we want to import. So you can have a web page with 3, 4, 10 tables on it. You need to specify which one that is. So let's jump back to the web page and I'll show you how you can quickly find out which table it is that you want to import. Okay, so the quickest way to do this is press F12 on the keyboard if you're in Chrome, and then press Control F. And that's going to bring up this search box here, and then you can search for the tag, the HTML tag for table. Okay, and you can see there's two results. And if we click the down arrow, this is the second table, and that is a table at the bottom of the page which describes what the columns of the table are. And press down again, it brings us back up to the top, and we can see that this is table 1 and this is the table that we want to import. Okay, so we just enter 1 here, and then we could enter a locale, but we can just leave that as blank and use the default, which will be the default of this particular document. So I'm just going to delete that comma, put a close parenthesis, and press return. And as you can see, that brings in the entire table, and we've got 242 rows plus the headers. So that's the first step. The next step is to restrict this to only bring in these three columns. And the way you do that is we wrap this whole entire calculation inside another calculation called query. And this query calculation allows you to specify the criteria of what you want to bring back from this data. And the data is our import HTML, the results of the import HTML. So I'll go to the end of the calculation, into a comma. That takes us to the second parameter, which is the query. And here I'm going to enter in quotation marks, select col 2, col 3, and col 4. So that's column 2, 3, and 4. And this query is case sensitive, so you need to type those with a capital C and a lowercase ol. Okay, just put a closing parenthesis at the end, press return, and now you can see we've only got those three columns back in the query. We still have 242 rows, so 241 plus the header. So the next step is to add the filter. Okay, so I'm now going to add a where clause to the end of that calculation. And what this is saying is filter the results of this whole query to where only the value in column 1 is more than or equal to 1, which essentially is the same as saying is where it's only a number. And now you can see if I go to the end, we only have 196 rows, so 195 plus the header. If we go back to our website, that matches back to the 193 plus the 2 observer states. So it's now returning those 195 member and observer states of the UN, and only just those three columns. Again, the advantage of using a calculation like this instead of just copying and pasting the data is that this is now dynamic. So if you come back and refresh this, it will pull in the most recent data. So if the website is updated, you get the most recent data. Okay, hope that was useful. Thanks for watching.